The distress beacon had been broadcasting for 3 standard cycles when it finally reached the edge of the Terran system. Ambassador Krelthax of the Galactic Council had sent the message with trembling appendages, his normally pristine diplomatic robes stained with the blue-green blood of his fallen guards. "This is Ambassador Krelthax of the Peaceful Coalition." The transmission crackled through space. "The Zephyrian Armada has breached our defenses. They're slaughtering civilians on 7 worlds. We need immediate humanitarian assistance. Please, anyone who receives this, we're dying." The message had traveled through 17 relay stations, each one operated by species that quietly deleted it from their logs. The Zephyrians were notorious for their ruthlessness, and no civilized species wanted to draw their attention. The transmission continued its journey through the void until it reached a small monitoring station on the outer rim of a yellow star system. Lieutenant Sarah Chin was nursing her 3rd cup of coffee when the beacon lit up her console. She'd been stationed at monitoring post Delta 7 for 8 months, watching empty space and filing reports that nobody read. The sudden burst of activity made her nearly spill her drink. "What the hell?" she muttered, pulling up the translation matrix. The universal standard was broken, desperate, but clear enough. 7 worlds under attack. Millions dead. A plea for help that had already been ignored by half the galaxy. Sarah's fingers hesitated over the relay controls. Protocol dictated she forward the message to Earth Command and wait for orders. But something in the ambassador's voice, the raw terror, the acceptance of death, made her act on instinct instead of procedure. She opened a direct channel to the nearest naval station. "This is monitoring post Delta 7 to Fleet Command. Priority Alpha emergency. We have a distress call from the Galactic Council. Multiple worlds under attack. Requesting immediate response." The reply came within minutes, not hours. "Delta 7, this is Admiral Harrison. Confirm you said Galactic Council?" "Affirmative, sir. They're calling for humanitarian aid." A pause. Then, "Delta 7, maintain position. We're scrambling everything we have." Sarah had expected a single hospital ship, maybe a small escort. What emerged from the hyperspace gates 3 hours later made her question her own sensors. Dreadnoughts. Battlecruisers. Carrier groups. The entire 3rd Fleet, followed by the 6th and 9th. The fleet composition was staggering, over 300 ships bristling with weapons that could crack planets. Leading them was the SOS Retribution, Admiral Harrison's flagship, a kilometer-long monster of reinforced titanium and directed energy weapons. Ambassador Krelthax was still coordinating the evacuation of his species' primary colony when the human fleet dropped out of hyperspace at the system's edge. His tentacles curled in confusion as his sensors registered the massive energy signatures. "Admiral Harrison to Ambassador Krelthax," came the transmission. "We received your distress call. Where are the Zephyrians?" Krelthax's voice quavered with hope and bewilderment. "Admiral, we requested humanitarian aid. We need medical supplies, evacuation ships." Ambassador Harrison's voice cut through the static, cold and professional. "You said they were slaughtering civilians. Where are they?" The Zephyrian Armada had been systematically reducing the 4th planet's major cities to rubble when the human fleet arrived. Their commander, General Vextar, had conquered 47 worlds using fear as his primary weapon. His tactics were simple. Arrive with overwhelming force, broadcast the destruction of military targets, then give the population one chance to surrender before beginning the slaughter. He had never encountered humans before. The first salvo from the Retribution turned his flagship into expanding plasma. The second wave of missiles eliminated his escort ships before they could raise shields. Within 10 minutes, the Zephyrian Armada terror of the outer systems was reduced to debris and escape pods. Admiral Harrison's voice echoed across all frequencies. "This is Admiral Harrison of the Terran Defense Force. Any Zephyrian vessels that do not immediately withdraw from this system will be destroyed. You have 30 seconds to comply." 27 seconds later, the remaining Zephyrian ships jumped to hyperspace. Ambassador Krelthax stared at his tactical display in stunned silence. The humans had just accomplished in minutes what the combined fleets of 6 species had failed to do in months. His communication officer approached hesitantly. "Sir, the human admiral is requesting permission to begin planetary relief operations. They're sending medical ships and construction crews." Krelthax's tentacles trembled, not with fear this time, but with a mixture of gratitude and dawning understanding. The humans hadn't just sent aid. They had sent a statement to the galaxy. Those who prey on the innocent would face the wrath of Earth's children. "Grant them full access," he whispered, "and send a message to the Galactic Council. Tell them the Deathworlders have arrived.